So hi again, this is Ketki, back for my Flap to Fab series, and this is episode 10, part 2 of good versus bad, good fat versus bad fat. So if you watched episode 9, I talked about the good fats, right? And today I'm going to share with you about a bit about the bad fats and what is the trick that if you really cannot avoid it, what can you do to still have it and not have it in your system? Interesting, right? Okay, just hang on, okay? So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Ketki. I'm a naturopath, a nutritionist, a herbalist, and I run my own clinical practice called Natural Medicine. I trained in Sydney. It was my own health journey that brought me to this point where I wanted to heal myself. I am a keynote speaker and I run my own online health and wellness business. Well, enough about me. Now, bad fats. Okay, so bad fats are really not good because we talked about fat as a macronutrient. We do need carb, protein, and some fats for functions that I talked about in episode 9. I'm not going to repeat that here. So the bad, and I also discussed what are the good sources of good fats and what are their functions and why we need them. In terms of bad fats, the examples of bad fats would be industrial made trans fats and saturated fats. Now, why don't we want this in our system? Because number one, it can clog your arteries. You can get weight gain, and weight gain leads to a whole host of problems like diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. It also will increase your risk of other diseases because right now obesity is also linked to cancer. So it's also found in the trans fats are also found in dairy products, so whole dairy products and even meats. What it does, it increases your lipodensity lipoproteins, low density lipoproteins, which is not good for your heart. So if you ever done a heart blood test, you would know that LDL is not good. Your doctor would have told you that. Now, examples of saturated fats are not as harmful as trans fat, but they still have a negative impact on our body. And no need to cut out all saturated fat, but at least limit it to minimum of 10% of your all calories, okay? So example like red meat, like chicken skin, like whole fat dairy milk products, cheese, cream, ice cream, butter, lard, coconut oil, palm oil, stick margarine, vegetable shortening, if you're microwaving your popcorns and fried stuff like, French fries, fried chicken, chicken nuggets, I know all the fast food, right? And anything that contains hydrogenated fat. So when you are going out and you are shopping, and if you're buying all the cookies or pastries or whatever, read the ingredient labels at the end if it says trans fat. Sometimes if they have palm oil or hydrogenated fat and they said no added trans fat, does not mean that it does not have trans fat. It does have, okay? So we have to be mindful about how we read our labels and how to do the shopping to avoid the trans fat and hydrogenated fats and have the good fats. Now, a lot of people ask me, so, okay, if I'm not going to do this, how am I going to live? Because it's very, very hard to avoid all of this. And sometimes, especially during the festive season, the Diwali that just got over, Christmas that's coming around, New Year's Eve, and everybody's geared towards this whole, festivity season. What can we do to really, I can't help it. I've got weddings, I've got, dinners, I've got banquets or things to go with family and friends, and how do I avoid this in my meal? So now I'm going to show you a very quick tip to have that fat when you can't avoid it and still not have it in your system. Hang on. So this is the trick. I am in the kitchen now and I'm going to show you something. So hang on a second. I have filled up a transparent cup with water. So this is like my system inside. Imagine this is in your body, right? And what happens is that you went to a wedding or a function and you're eating fried, oily foods, right? So hang on. I'm going to try and see how I show that. I'm going to pour oil into this. Hang on a second. So this is the oil. And I'm pouring it in the cup. So imagine this fried French fries, fried chicken, fried nuggets, whatever, right? It's swimming in my body. And now I'm going to take this natural chitosan which is looks like this, okay, I just take about 3 to 4 capsules half an hour before a very heavy fried meal. I'm going to put this powder, it's made from natural chitosan, and I'm going to put it inside this cup, okay? So just give me a second. So I'm putting the powder inside the oil here, right? I'm going to pour 2 more capsules. Hang on. So here I go. I've got all the 4 capsules here, the powder taken out, and so I drink it up half an hour before a fried meal or French fries, or I'm going to a wedding and whatever. And then now, can you see the chitosan? I'm just going to stir it, like I'm going to move my body, right? I'm going to walk around, so this is simulating that. And can you see that what it does, chitosan will clump up. It is actually binding up all the oil in the meal that you had, okay? And it's turning into clumps. And all of these fat globules is actually going to pass out of your system. So you won't absorb it. It will not do harm. And at the same time, you had no choice. You had to attend that party and you were eating that food that was only available. Then this is what you do. This is a little trick or tip that I always do, or especially during the festive season. I keep it always standby with me, right? And so what has happened, can you see, it's all become like fat globules. And if I let this sit for a while, it actually looks like this. Can you see how icky this fat globule is? It's really a clump. Can you see that? This oily fat globule that it bound up, and this will be passed out. And if it doesn't pass out, this clogs up our arteries. So this is a very important thing to note. All right. So I hope that helped. It helps you deal with the festive season that's coming. Take care. If you have any questions, just give me a text there. Bye. Hope it helped.